Alright guys, today I have a special episode for you guys. I'm going to do a review on Gordon Ramsay's masterclass. It's going to be crispy duck, a cherry glaze, romaine hearts, as well as sautéed spinach. I really love those masterclass recipes. We've done Aaron Franklin before. We did a really great Aaron Franklin brisket, ribs, as well as pork butt. And I watch a lot of masterclass videos. I mean, there's no pitch. Masterclass didn't pay me for this, but I just like learning all the time. I like food. I like grilling. So, you know, I'm always thinking, how can I take this, what this guy's doing, and take it kind of to the next level and learn something for myself? So naturally, I looked at Gordon Ramsay and I said, you know what? What if we do this on the grill? You know, like he already makes great recipes. I just love his recipes, you know, they have a great combination of all those sort of like, you know, the 5 flavors, you know, like it's sweet, salty, bitter, sour, umami, you know, and I think what he's missing is a little bit of smoke from a charcoal grill. So I want to do it on the charcoal grill. So okay, here you have your bag of charcoal, and we pretty much talk about this in every episode, right? How do you open the bag of charcoal? Just with a string pull. So if you kind of look, the string is kind of pointing to the right? It has these loops that are sort of on the right. So this is the side that you can pull the string. And you can see here, the string is sort of, if I pull on this right now, it's just going to tighten itself up. So you want to kind of untie that very first loop, and now you can pull it. Maybe sometimes you need to untie the second loop. We royally screwed this one. Okay, this is the hack. How you do it when you mess up the clean string pull. Burn a little bit of your string and you can start again. Careful not to get burned because this has plastic in it. Okay, pull that string and here we go. Second attempt. That's how you do it. So let's get our charcoal in here. Actually, this grill is really cool. We can set our fire starter here in the bottom. Always light a fire from the bottom up. You know, like a lot of people put fire starters on the top. Doesn't make any sense. You know, fire burns up. Fire is hot on the top. So you want to kind of put your fire starter in the bottom, not on the top. Because it will light the charcoal on top of it. Get that going. Here you go. Open your vents for good airflow. Pour our charcoal into the charcoal basket. Today I'm using the FOGO Charcoal black bag pretty much because I want to get the fire hot fast. You know, it has like medium-sized pieces, you know, a lot of sort of like regular briquette-sized pieces. You know, a lot of this stuff you find, but it's all natural, so you know it's good stuff. And it will just light really fast. Like in about 10 minutes, we're gonna be cooking. Now just put the grate. All right, so basically the next step is the 5 spice for the duck. So this is a Chinese spice, and pretty much if you want it easy, you could just buy it. 5 spice powder, you know, probably a lot of supermarkets sell it. Pretty much any supermarket will sell it. Or you can just toast them and really unlock the fragrance, the flavor, toast each spice and then mix it together. And that's what we're gonna do today. 5 spices, pretty much peppercorns, anise, is cinnamon, as well as, we don't have it here, it's clove and fennel seeds. And then you put a little bit of salt as well in the mix. And that's basically your 5 spice. All right, here we have our duck breasts. I mean, duck is awesome. Duck has amazing flavor, and that flavor is in this duck fat. This duck fat is gold. Everybody in barbecue is cooking with duck fat right now. Duck fat spray, duck fat, you know, in cast iron. It just takes every food to the next level. So this is awesome because actually the duck breast, the meat is extremely lean. I mean, look at this. It has absolutely no fat. There's no marbling whatsoever. All the fat is here in the skin. And so we want to make sure that when we cook this, we actually render that fat. We cook with the duck fat. We don't add any other fat. We're going to cook with that same duck fat. We're going to render it down. We're going to make this really nice and crispy, really crunchy. And that's going to give all that flavor to that really lean and tender duck meat, the duck breast basically. All right, so let's start with shaping this just a little bit. You know, it's you know, you see how that sort of duck skin is sort of overhanging a little bit. We can take this off and don't waste it, you know, keep it, but we can use that, you know, for cooking this duck in the cast iron pan. This is really another thing. I mean, we're going to cook this duck in cast iron, but pretty much I've done a video before, duck directly on the grill grates, you know, over a hot charcoal fire, and just because there's so much fat in the skin, you don't really want to do that because you get so much flare-ups. It's going to be really difficult to manage your grill to keep that fire under control, and so cooking it in cast iron is the way to go with duck. And so just clean it up a little bit. You see, it's just kind of cutting the skin a little bit into shape, you know, so it's not like overhanging. It just looks a little bit prettier. It's a bit nicer. Next, we're going to slightly score the skin. Again, this just helps rendering the fat down. So there's two things about this. This fat is amazing, amazing taste, absolutely beautiful. But at the same time, you don't want to eat, you know, ounces and ounces of fat. So you kind of really want to render it down. You want the meat to be basted in that same fat. And so to help that process, just slightly score the skin, you know. Don't cut all the way through, just score it. Just like this. And you can score it this way as well. You see? Beautiful. Another trick to get nice and crispy skin is put a little bit of salt on it. Salt draws out moisture and it's going to get that skin nice and crispy. So let's put a little bit of that salt on top. And really you want to let it sit here for just a few minutes for the salt to kind of work its way in and draw the moisture out of the fat. That will really help crispen it up once we put it on the grill. Then we put a little bit of our 5-spice. And this is so amazing. I mean, we just toasted these spices. They're full of flavor. Absolutely incredible. Turn around. A little bit of salt. A little bit of 5-spice. All right, let's cook these. Okay, check this out. We have the grill set to 350 degrees. You know, you can play around with the vents a little bit, but more or less that's where I want to be. Pretty much, it's like a medium to high heat. You know, not much higher than that. On goes the cast iron. Let it come to temperature. Now this is where we want to put in the duck fat, so it can render down and we can cook in the duck breast's own fat. And we're going to add a little bit of thyme, just a few twigs of thyme, you know, just for that flavor, for that aroma, and a little bit of garlic. Let's get in 4 garlic cloves. We're just going to squash these, you know, just so we can really get the flavor out of them. And we throw that into the cast iron. All right, guys, so our grill is hot, the cast iron is hot. I've got the duck fat trimmings in here, and a little bit of thyme, a little bit of garlic, and the flavor is pretty much off the charts already. The cast iron is hot, so let's get our duck in here. We're going to put it fat side down and get a really nice sear on this. This has absolutely no fat in it. It's just the duck's own fat, you know, from the duck skin. And that's all we need. So this will sear for about, I don't know, 4 minutes or so. And then I'm going to close the lid and just let it cook in there for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes top. I'm aiming for like an internal temperature of 135 degrees. I really don't want to overcook it, but you know, Mainly that duck skin needs to render down and sear and get crispy. That's the main thing here. Nice. I'm going to move them around a bit. Just I want to make sure that they all get a nice and even sear. Just in case we have a little bit of, hot spots. Look at this. All this fat is from the skin. It's rendering it down beautifully. I want to get a little bit of a sear, just a little bit of the charcoal flavor on the bottom. We have to watch out. Like I said, the duck has so much fat, it will cause flare-ups. But just a little bit, I can't stop myself from getting a little bit of that charcoal flavor on there. Not too much, just a little bit. All right. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful sear on the bottom. Looking great. So skin side down, we can put, the garlic, the thyme on top. So it keeps infusing with those flavors. Even the duck breast own fat. Get it on top of there, and on it goes. I'm going to close the lid, and we're going to close all the vents, so to basically control the temperature and get it down to 350, 375 for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that's it. We got a nice sear on the skin already. It looks beautiful. We've got a nice sear on the charcoal grill on the meat, just like 10 seconds. And now it's going to finish cooking indirectly, almost like in an oven, but still absorbing all that charcoal flavor, all that smoke right here in the grill. And in 10 minutes, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to show you how it is. All right, while the duck is cooking, we can prep the next stuff. Gordon Ramsay's recipe calls for something called red endives. To be honest with you, I have no fucking idea what it is. I found something similar in the supermarket, romaine hearts. It looks similar. The red endives are sort of, the leaves, it looks like a tighter package. It looks a little bit like a mix between a romaine heart and maybe corn on the cob. But, I figured this is the closest thing that I have. Let's go with this. And so basically what he's proposing is just cut it in half, season it, and then sear it well. So we have it like this. We season it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and basically almost like caramelizing it, roasting it, and then we get a ton of amazing flavors. A little bit of bitter, a little bit of sweet. Should be very good. Okay, so what we're going to start with is a little bit of balsamic glaze. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of sugar. And all of that we're going to cook once the duck is ready in the cast iron on the grill. And basically it's going to be like caramelized romaine hearts. I don't know how the red endive taste. Gordon Ramsay says it's a little bit bitter, but I think this should come out pretty similar in looks. I don't know how close in taste, but it should be pretty good. It looks pretty amazing, doesn't it? Let's check another duck one. All right, so it's all about temperature control, right? When you do live fire cooking, no matter what grill you have, if you have a Weber grill, a Kamado Joe Bacon Egg, this is an M grill from Texas. It's all about knowing your grill and how you manage the oxygen flow, right? Your vents. I mean, right now I got all the vents shut. And check this out. The grill is at 350, maybe a bit higher than this. It's about 375 degrees, right? Watch out when you open it. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a flashback. And here we got it. Check this out. Absolutely beautiful. We're at 123. So they need a little bit longer. This one is done, it seems. So this one is a bit bigger. Let's start taking them off. Beautiful duck breast. You know what? Oh, okay. Now this is not going to work. I'm going to need special gloves to hold this cast iron. Okay, so let's pour a little bit of that fat on top. Fat is flavor. Don't waste any of this. All right, we're gonna put the duck away and just let it rest for about 10 minutes or so. I keep touching it with fucking gloves. All right, let's cook our romaine. The cast iron pan goes back on. We have a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. It's already hot. And in the romaine goes. Let's put it face down so we get a nice caramelization. Here, listen to this. Beautiful sizzle. There you go. Get in there. And a little bit more sugar. So this is gonna go really nicely with that 5-spice seasoning on the duck. You know, spicy. This is sweet, sour, caramelized, bitter. It's gonna be a real nice mix of flavors. It should take about 2 minutes or so for nice caramelization on this romaine. And look at this. You can see the nice caramelization right there in the skillet. Yeah, I think that's a big takeaway from this, right? Like in terms of a recipe review, if you don't have the ingredient that they call for, try to find a substitute. You know, if you've never heard about red endive, doesn't mean that you can't do the recipe. Just means that you have to be a little bit creative. Try to find a substitute. Literally, Google is your friend. Red endive substitute, and it gives you a couple of options of what else you can do. Okay, let's check out this romaine. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice caramelization. Absolutely amazing. You don't want to overcook this. You want a little bit of crunch on this. But check this out. It's just amazing. Again, just a pinch of sugar. Why? Because we're glazing these, we're caramelizing these. It just adds to the flavor. All right, our romaine hearts are done. Looks absolutely amazing. Check this out. I mean, it's just beautiful. All right, and we're going to add a little bit of orange zest just to get that fresh flavor from the orange. It's gonna really pop. Gordon Ramsay loves to add his like lime zest, orange zest. But you know, he's right. It's that little bit of flavor, those little explosions that take it to the next level. Next up is our dark cherry glaze. For that, we're going to caramelize a little bit of honey, a couple of teaspoons. This takes just a couple of minutes. Just get it into your cast iron pan. Don't steer it. Don't, you know, when you're making caramel, don't steer. Just shake it so it gets even heat and it can caramelize. And add a little bit of red wine vinegar. There you go. Let it evaporate a couple of minutes. All right, I think it has reduced enough. And now we add a little bit of chicken stock. Just a couple of ounces. And again, let it come to a boil and let it reduce. All right, our cherry glaze has boiled down. Time to add the cherries. Oh, 2 were left behind. Leave no cherry behind. All right, check this out. I mean, you don't need to cook this, right? This is all about flavor. Get it off, put it in a bowl. All right, and finally, we're going to do sautéed spinach. All right, guys, to saute the spinach, we're just going to saute it for a couple of seconds. It's gonna be about 10 seconds. Then we're gonna add a bit of garlic and a little bit of shallots. So let's just prep the shallots ahead of time because we're not going to have any time. It's gonna be literally 10 seconds in the cast iron pan. So we wanna be fast. Just get a couple of shallots already. There you go. Awesome. All right, cast iron skillet, grill. Let's saute that spinach. On goes the skillet. A little bit of olive oil. This is hot already. Good to go. I'm going to season the skillet a little bit. A little bit of salt. And in goes the spinach. 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds are over. Put our shallots and our garlic on top. And let's move it. Okay, almost there. So this takes about 30 to 45 seconds in total. I don't want to overly cook it. Just get a little bit of a sear, a little bit of a saute on that spinach. Okay. All right, guys, let's start plating this. I can't wait to eat this. It smells absolutely delicious. A bed of spinach. Beautiful. Now the romaine hearts. Oh, these are a little big for our plate. Let's try to get them in there. Beautiful. Just like that. We have our duck breast. You hear that skin? That is crispy duck skin. A little bit of pink in the center. Would have liked to see a little bit more pink. These duck breasts were a little bit small for my taste, and I think I might have overcooked them a little bit. Try to find slightly thicker duck breasts. You know, it's going to make it easier to cook them to perfect medium rare. You see. Yeah, I mean, it's pink, it's juicy. Look at this. I mean, it's extremely juicy. Put it on here, and then our glaze, our cherry glaze. Beautiful. All right, guys, we're done. And it might not look as spectacular. I might have to work on my presentation, on my plating skills. But damn, it smells amazing. And whenever I taste it a little bit, you know, they always say, you know, when you cook something, make sure you taste along the way to make sure that it is good. And I can tell you already, I haven't even had a bite yet, but it tastes absolutely amazing. But without further ado, let's go for it. I mean, the centerpiece here is the duck. And I mean, Juan, come closer. Check out this duck. I mean, I wish I could have cooked it a little more medium rare, but I mean, you got a little bit of redness in there. This duck breast was very small. You know, note to myself, next time, a bigger duck breast is definitely, you know, will definitely help. You want to get a duck breast that's like 14, 16 ounces at least. But yeah, I think I got a really nice char on the duck skin. It looks super crispy. So let's go for it. Oh, wow, that's good. Yeah, it has the Asian 5-spice. Really nice. And a little bit of that sweetness of that cherry glaze. Here we have those like caramelized glazed cherries. Beautiful. Yeah, a little bit of that sautéed spinach. Oh, I love that. I have to admit, I love veggies. Really nice. And let's go for the romaine. So this is the one ingredient that wasn't technically on the list. So the recipe called for, what was it, the red endive, which to be honest, I have no idea what it is. You know, I'm based in Miami. It might not be a locally available vegetable. Maybe it's available in Europe. Maybe it's seasonal. But I substituted it with this romaine heart, and let's see how that came out. Crunchy. That's good. The red endive was supposed to be a little bit bitter, but with that bitterness, that edginess, we take it off by caramelizing it. You know, adding a little bit of that sugar, you know, caramelizing, sautéing it in the pan, and that definitely worked. It definitely worked on these romaine hearts. This comes out amazing. Like you get that nice crunch. It's fresh. It's flavorful. A little spicy, little sour, little bitter, little sweet. This has most of the combinations of the flavors right in it. Get your in-laws over and cook this. This is a 3 Michelin star recipe from a 3 Michelin star chef, Gordon Ramsay. Thank you so much. This is incredible. People will be like, this is unbelievable. You should open a restaurant. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the slightly different format. I'm gonna try, you know, a little bit different things, try something new, mix it up a little bit. This was an incredible recipe. You know, you can adapt anything for the grill. You can adapt anything for live fire cooking. And I'm going to do a couple of more reviews in the coming weeks on Gordon Ramsay's recipes and maybe some other masterclass reviews in the future. I hope you liked this episode, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, and see you again next week. This is fantastic. Mama, look, it doesn't look so amazing as Gordon Ramsay's recipe did,
Oh, wow.
but it sure tastes pretty good. Here, try this.
Sebby, come! Where's Sebby?
So I have duck
Oh my God, I want garlic.
with a cherry.
Oh no, I don't want cherry.
I thought you loved cherries,
I
honey.
do, but not with.
Okay. But actually, I know you like spinach, right? Here, try the spinach.
Did you take pictures already? Let me take a picture. It looks super good.
Here. And this, actually the recipe called for a vegetable called red endive, which I have no idea what it is. I guess it's like a European thing. But I tried to find something with a similar look, and you know, I don't know if similar taste since I haven't tried the other one, but it looks very similar. And it's basically a romaine hearts. So try this. I think it's pretty nice. I think that might be my favorite in the whole thing.
No, I made a duck.
No, the duck, obviously. I mean, the duck is the superstar here, but in terms of, I don't know, I just love the texture and the flavor of the salad. So good. I like the other duck. You know, I got this duck in Whole Foods, and I'm not so impressed with it. I like the duck that I bought before. It's bigger.
The one that we had.
Yeah, that looks nice.
I mean, that looks nice. Put on my camera.
Stella, do you want to try?
No, not yet.
Vicky, you want to try?
Yeah.
Come.
No, not yet.
Sebby would like Sebby.
Do you want to try the duck? Here, look. And look, I have cherries. You want to try cherries?
No.
They're sweet. Because they're dessert.
No. Maybe I don't want dessert today.
No dessert today? What are you talking about? All right.
Listen.
All right, guys. I think everybody liked it. Happy wife, happy life.
Oh my God.
Got you, honey. You didn't even know we were shooting.
Like yelling like crazy. Sorry. I don't know where he is. It's good.
See you next week.